Chapter 4. Galaxy. The Sun is only a very small star in the galaxy. Cosmos. Our world is but a small part of the cosmos. Universe. The depth of the universe is immeasurable. Interstellar. These elements become a part of the interstellar gas and dust. Terrestrial. Forests are home to over 80% of terrestrial biodiversity. Celestial. The rosy light beamed like a celestial dawn. Astronomy. Physics and astronomy are cognate sciences. Astrology. Some who follow Chinese astrology expect it to be a good year. Astronaut. An American astronaut is beginning a year-long trip in space. Comet. The probes will travel with the comet for a full year. Meteorite. He discovered an unusual meteorite. Crater. They came to the lip of a dead volcanic crater. Dust. The mirror is covered with a film of dust. Ash. Don't drop your cigarette ash on the carpet. Use an ashtray. Envelope. The surface of the sun is a glowing gas envelope. Chunk. My mother bought a chunk of meat. Spacecraft. The spacecraft is orbiting the moon. Spaceship. The scientists are able to calculate accurately when the spaceship will reach the moon. Probe. Their probe into the cause of the fire proved futile. Module. A module is part of a space vehicle that can work independently. Propulsion. This aircraft works by jet propulsion. Pressure. We will never capitulate to pressure from outside. Dynamics. And our goal is to find out the dynamics of this problem. Motion. Parts of the film were shown again in slow motion. Vent. When gases and steam can get vented from a volcano's cracks, it's probably not about to erupt. Tail. He drove into the back of my truck and smashed the tail light. Curve. The stairs ascended in a graceful curve. Exploration. The Elizabethan age was a time of exploration and discovery. Expedition. This is an expedition to find the beginning of the Yangtze River. Flyby. Because of the flyby height, the plane resembles an increasingly big bird. Observatory. According to the observatory, there will be a total solar eclipse tomorrow. Telescope. What is the range of this telescope? Spectacle. The sunrise was a splendid spectacle. Orbit. The Earth moves in an approximately circular orbit around the Sun. Ecliptic. 5 bright planets move among the stars near the ecliptic. Diameter. The Earth is slightly flat at the poles, so that the polar diameter is slightly less than the equatorial diameter. Radius. They searched within 1 mile radius of the school. Substance. Is there a basic substance that everything else is made of? Composition. Scientists study the composition of the soil. Compound. Compound. English loves compound words, washing machine, and that sort of thing. Fossil. I know that the majority of the energy we consume comes from fossil fuel energy sources. Sample. I need nothing but a sample. Specimen. The biologist brought out a specimen box and showed the items one by one. Particle. There are particles of dust everywhere. Molecule. There is a molecule separator in the lab. Atom. A molecule of water is made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Ion. Both of these particles can produce ion pairs. Electron. Electrons are negatively charged with electricity. Quantum. In this example, we employed the quantum mechanics principle. Liquid. If you add too much liquid, the mixture will not be thick enough. Fluid. When you are sick, you should drink plenty of fluids. Solid. The new office building has a very solid construction. Synthesize. Darwinian theory has been synthesized with modern genetics. Formation. In planet formation, as in adolescence, you've got your late bloomers. Method. New methods of teaching foreign languages are adopted in this institute. Spectrum. A spectrum is formed by a ray of light passing through a prism. Dimension. A line has 1 dimension and a square has 2. Frequency. This radio signal has a frequency of 800 kHz. Signal. Her speech yesterday was a signal that her view has changed. Antenna. You should fix the television antenna before receiving programs. Circuit. For many years, he was top banana on the circuit. Refraction. Over water, the diurnal change in refraction is likely to be small. Ultraviolet. The ozone layer absorbs most of the sun's ultraviolet radiation. Radioactive. Nuclear energy gives millions heat, light, and power, just as it creates unwanted radioactive side effects. Distinct. Those 2 ideas are quite distinct from each other. Discernible. Night fell, but the outline of the factory buildings was still discernible. Invisible. Some stars are invisible to the naked eye. Collision. He is responsible for the rear-end collision. Squash. I sat on my hat and squashed it. Fragment. Fragment. He was still in bad condition and could give only a fragmented account of the accident. Cataclysmic. One can readily trace the disappearance of dinosaurs to a cataclysmic event. Overwhelming. The flood was overwhelming and the city was soon flooded. Despair. This boy is his mother's last despair. Desperate. The man lost in the desert was desperate for water. Hopeless. He feels that his chances of winning the contest are hopeless.